Hey everybody, how you doing? And welcome to my channel. Great to have you here, most definitely. Well, I got some great stuff to talk to you about. There's been a brand new Paul McCartney documentary that is on Hulu right now, and it's running on TV. Hopefully you're seeing this, and if not, maybe you can catch up with it. It's done by Rick Rubin. Hope I got his name right. And he's done an interview with Paul and kind of sit down for a 6-parter interview. And I thought, I'm not really too sure if I'm interested in watching a 6-part interview with him, Paul, and Rick. Each segment's about a half hour long. But, it's actually very, very captivating and very interesting. And he goes through the Beatle days, the Wings days, solo Paul McCartney, Beatles, a lot of Beatles. The great thing is this interview really captivates you because they're like sitting in a it's not a studio, like a recording studio, but he's got mixers and they go through the song, and right off the bat they go into the Paul McCartney Beatles song All My Lovin' for the beginning, and they start messing around with it. Rick starts messing with the mixing board and he isolates the instruments to where you just hear Paul and the rawness of his voice, and he goes through that. And I don't want to give too much of this away, but this is really fantastic in the aspect that you really get to hear a lot of insight of Paul McCartney talking about it. And I thought, I've seen so many interviews, and here comes another interview with Paul McCartney talking about when Paul says, well, John and I were sitting there and we're writing, it's getting better all the time. And John says, well, it couldn't get much worse. Okay, yeah, that's in there, of them talking about doing off Sgt. Pepper, getting better. But there's also a lot of really good stuff in there that's, and I tried to go watching this with an open mind to say, yes, this could be something that if you're not a Beatles fan or really not a McCartney knowledgeable or anything like that, if you're not really a big follower of Paul and you kind of want to catch up on some stuff, this is a great interview for an entry for anybody else. So, but like I said, Hulu is running this right now, and okay, Beatle Brad couldn't wait, so I bought the DVD. This is a Blu-ray DVD of the show, so this is the whole thing in its entirety. And I've already gotten it. I bought it offline, and this is really fantastic. The whole thing is shot in black and white, which, okay, I thought when, a couple of my friends were telling me about this and all of that, I thought, okay, being in black and white, it could probably drag on and be very boring. But actually, it's very, very interesting. The lighting that they did for this and the way they shot this, they did a tremendous job the way they shot it. There's light in the background. And like I said, Paul's sitting there talking during this DVD and Hulu that you can watch on TV. Fascinating thing is they would come up with photographs in between the discussions. They would talk about, well, George and I were playing guitar on this, and Paul's talking about how he's playing guitar, and they would show you an actual photograph. And the cool thing about this was that I really was captivated from the beginning of the episodes. Was they would show a picture, and it was a black and white shot that we all kind of know and all that kind of stuff, but the picture was all redigitalized and recolored to where they had all the photographs were in color. That was just fascinating. So throughout the whole entire thing, they would show these little pictures of the Beatles themselves, or Paul and Ringo, or Paul and John. And some pictures I've never seen before, which is kind of hard to believe that out of all of this, I'd run across some pictures that I've never seen before. But there were some pretty cool pictures in there that were colorized of Beatles, and some other pictures of Paul during solo Beatles, and he goes into depth with a lot of stuff. And it's great because he talks about like solo stuff like Band on the Run and different songs like that and how it came about, which I've kind of heard the story of that, but it was kind of neat to hear him right in front of the mixing board and them isolating some of the instruments out and taking some of the vocals and bringing them up more to where you just hear Paul, or you just hear Denny Lane and Paul singing together on something like that for Band on the Run. So yeah, I'm kind of talking a lot about this because this is now available on DVD if you want to get a copy of it, and it is not a let's say authorized, I guess you could say authorized copy. So that's probably a better word for saying bootleg. For those of you who don't know what I'm saying when I say authorized. But if you get a chance, I want to pass this on to you. Something that maybe you would be fascinated to see. You know, we really enjoyed throughout the Beatle years, and it's indulged in all of our brains of all these songs, but it's kind of fun to hear them changed and Paul talking about them. And there'll probably come a day where Paul McCartney won't be around anymore, and we will have lost Paul. And as time goes on, we'll kind of forget stories or won't even have recollection of different interviews. But with this interview that's out right now, it's kind of like a time capsule that's holding and preserving Paul McCartney's legacy and the Beatles and the rest of the Beatles, including George Harrison and John Lennon and Ringo Starr, that Paul does go into depth talking about each and every one of them. But this is kind of my little review about the movie, or the documentary. It's really what it is, of me telling you about this. So it's quite interesting. We used to have Beethoven and Bach and Chopin and all these different classical artists, and they'd always, saying that this music's going to be forever, and it truly is. Classical music like that is classical music for a reason, and it's been around forever, and it's been fantastic. But as Paul McCartney said in 1967, rock music today is the classical music of today. So the Beatles' music has definitely influenced each and every one of us to where this music has delved into our hearts and minds, to where this music definitely is now part of our DNA in lots of ways, if I could use that word loosely, I guess. But all of us are some way woven into all four of these guys' lives. So this video kind of brings you more front to listening to different interviews. So if you can't get Hulu on your provider that you have, if you can't do that, look for this DVD online. See if you can pick this up, and I think you'll thoroughly will enjoy this, because this is definitely really good. Lots of times I'll watch interviews, like I've said, and I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. But I think this one has really kind of gone over the edge of really doing a fantastic job. And Rick, I've never really seen anything by him, or, don't really know anything about this Rick who did the interview with Paul, but he asked some real good questions that haven't been asked before. And he also plays some music that hasn't really been delved into. Just a little sneak peek for you listening. Talks to Paul McCartney about Check My Machine. So kind of an obscure track of Paul McCartney's. But yeah, so anyway, kind of rambling on, but I'm kind of excited because I just finished watching this. And I wanted to share it with you and tell you about it, to let you know that this is available now for purchase, or for watching just on Hulu, or buying it yourself like I did. And to get a Blu-ray copy, it's pretty fantastic to think that this is already out on Blu-ray. So anyway, if you're looking for it, it's for McCartney 321 is the title. Or you might just put in Paul McCartney 321 if you're looking for a search on it. And so yeah, that's kind of my review of what I thought of this. So this is a definite must for any McCartney collector or Beatles collector, or anybody who wants to just kind of learn a little bit more about the group themselves, or Paul McCartney. So I just kind of wanted to share this with you and kind of have a little moment. And I do appreciate you watching. Thank you so very much for subscribing. You guys mean an awful lot to me, each and every one of you. And I just don't mean to say that. I really do appreciate you guys. My viewers are like family to me. So when you become a part of Beatle Brad's channel, one, it's commercial free. Yeah. And two, the excitement of new collectibles or new items that are out there, or Beatles stuff that I pick up. I thoroughly enjoy sharing them with you, but as you being my new subscribers, I appreciate you guys being here. And to my older subscribers, you guys are fantastic. A lot of you have been with me for years and years, and I appreciate you very, very much. You guys are the core of my channel. You guys are the core of this channel. And you guys are absolutely fantastic. And like I said, I don't take it easy of having viewers and you're just another number or another subscriber. I know I'm going way too long on this, but I just want you to know that I appreciate each and every one of you. And you guys are fantastic. So let me know what you think of this documentary. Have you seen this yet? Or are you going to watch this? Let me know what you think. Or maybe you're going to purchase it like I did. So comment down below. Let me know what you think about it all. Thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate you guys. And as I say on my channel, I'm out of here. Take care, everybody. From Beetle Brad and Rick and Paul, we're out of here.